All right, let's dive into the world of the Hunger Games. We're going to get into this incredible, terrifying dystopian story where survival is literally a TV show, and one single act of defiance can be the spark that ignites a revolution. I mean, really think about that. What if your life, your death, every move you make, every moment of fear was all just primetime entertainment for some rich, powerful audience? It sounds like a nightmare, but that's the reality at the very heart of this story. Okay, so before we can even get into the games themselves, we have to understand the worlds they exist in, and that nation is called Panem. So, what is Panem? Well, picture this. It's a totalitarian nation that literally rose from the ashes of what we know as North America. It's a place of insane extremes. You've got this glittering, unbelievably wealthy capital at the center, and then surrounding it, you have 12 districts living under its complete and total control. And the contrast between the two is just staggering. The capital is all about opulence, wild fashions, and crazy technology. Meanwhile, the districts are defined by poverty, starvation, and back-breaking labor. And you have to understand, this massive inequality isn't an accident. Nope, it's the entire foundation of the capital's power. So you're probably wondering, how did things get this bad? Well, about 74 years before our story starts, the districts actually tried to rebel. They called it the Dark Days, and they lost. Terribly. As a punishment, the capital created the Hunger Games, a brutal annual reminder to every single person in the districts that they are powerless and that defiance means death. And that brings us to the games themselves. Because this isn't just a punishment, oh no. It's so much more than that. It's a carefully engineered pageant of fear, a whole spectacle designed for total psychological control.
It all kicks off every year with something called the Reaping. And trust me, it's as grim as it sounds. Think of it like a lottery from hell. In every district, they draw the names of one boy and one girl between the ages of 12 and 18. These kids are called tributes, and they're sent off to an arena to kill each other. It's this sick, twisted version of a harvest, only the crop they're reaping is their own children.
And this is where we meet our hero, Katniss Everdeen. When her 12-year-old sister's name gets pulled at the reaping, Katniss does the unthinkable. She screams, "I volunteer as tribute to take her sister's place." Now, in a world built on submission, where you're taught to just keep your head down and obey, this one act of love, of pure defiance, well, that's the spark that sets this whole story in motion. So you've got 24 kids, 2 from each of the 12 districts. They're all thrown into this massive outdoor arena, armed with weapons, and broadcast live for the entire nation to watch. And the rule is simple, and it is absolutely savage. Only one gets to come out alive. That's it. 24 go in, 1 comes out. And you know what they say to these kids right before they're sent off to their potential deaths? May the odds be ever in your favor. It's maybe the most famous line from the books, and it is just dripping with the darkest irony. I mean, the whole system is designed to make sure the odds are absolutely 100% not in their favor. It's pure, cruel propaganda. So once you're actually in the arena, how do you survive? Well, it's about so much more than just being a good fighter. It's a completely different kind of game. See, you're not just up against the other 23 tributes. The game makers, who are basically the producers of this deadly reality show, can throw anything at you. Fireballs, mutated beasts, you name it. But here's the other crucial part. You have to win over sponsors. These are wealthy capital citizens watching at home who can send you life-saving gifts. And to do that, you have to be entertaining. You have to give them a story. And this really gets to the core question of the whole thing, doesn't it? Who do you become when you're forced to kill to survive, all while the world is watching? You have to be a killer, but you also have to be likable. It's this impossible tightrope walk between your survival instincts and holding on to your own humanity. And we see this conflict play out perfectly with Katniss. On one hand, you have her strategy with Peeta, her fellow tribute from District 12. He creates this star-crossed lovers narrative for them, right? It's a public performance designed to get sponsors and help them survive. But then there's Rue, the youngest tribute in the games. Katniss forms a real, genuine bond with her. That alliance isn't for the cameras. It's a true human connection in the most inhumane place imaginable. And it's this exact conflict between playing the game and just being human that leads us to the explosive climax, a single moment that's going to change everything. So,
Partway through the games, the game makers announce a shocking twist, probably to spice things up for the audience. They say that for the first time ever, two tributes can win, but only if they're from the same district. Suddenly, Katniss and Peeta have a real shot, a shared goal. They can both make it out alive.
But of course, it was all a lie. The second it's just the two of them left, the Capitol revokes the rule. They announce there can only be one winner after all, expecting a bloody final fight. Instead of killing Peeta, Katniss does something nobody could have seen coming. She pulls out a handful of deadly poisonous berries, one for her, one for him. A final, desperate act of defiance.
This move completely backs the Capitol into a corner. I mean, what can they do? The entire point of the Hunger Games is to have a victor. The humiliation of having no victor, of the show ending with a double suicide on live TV, that's a way bigger PR nightmare for them than just letting two people win. They've been outplayed at their own game. And it's as simple as that. The Capitol sets these unbeatable rules. Katniss finds a loophole, using their need for a show against them. And boom, the all-powerful Capitol is forced to back down. She didn't just win the game, she broke it.
Look, this is so much bigger than just winning a competition. It was a victory against the Capitol. For the first time in over 70 years, the district saw that the system wasn't invincible. They saw one person, by simply refusing to become a monster, could spark a rebellion. It was a symbol of hope.
So Katniss and Peeta survive the arena. But by doing so, they've started something far more dangerous than the Hunger Games could ever be. Their act of defiance was a spark, and that leaves all of us with one burning question. How does a spark